The Community Arts Center is yours, is for you.
It's a centerpiece of our community.
This is something that we need to treasure
and be thankful that we have it.
The first time I was at the Community Arts Center, I can remember walking through the doors and seeing the stage and just being blown away by this amazing arts facility.
I could not stop looking up and looking around and thought, how lucky are we to have such an amazing place in this community? I was blown away.
Wow was definitely my reaction when I walked in.
You come under the balcony and you look up at the octagon and the ceiling, and it's incredible. There's nothing else like it. The goal of the Community Arts Center as a whole is to serve the Williamsport community. This type of venue that is a community-oriented, community-owned, locally owned venue that really is here in service to the community is an increasing rarity in the industry.
Thank you.
The Arts Center operates 50 weeks a year, and there is always something going on. We've hosted, hundreds of really world-class artists over the past 30 years, but in between those types of shows, there's always something else going on, whether it's hosting some of the incredible local talent like the Uptown Music Collective, the Williamsport Symphony Orchestra, the Community Theater League, the various dance troupes in the area, local school district music programs perform here a fair amount. Lycoming College does quite a bit of their musical performing and other programming here.
And the most striking thing for me is the look on the faces of my students after they have the opportunity to perform here, how it's elevated their experience at Lycoming College.
Everything needs like the carrot and the stick, right? So the carrot is that you get to perform. The gigantic, delicious carrot is the one that we get to perform on the stage at the Arts Center. That alone is like transform the collective with this possibility of being able to do that. The confidence they gain from it is amazing.
You have to realize that when you put a kid or an adult or anybody on that stage, those are life-changing experiences, and those kids have so much confidence in that they know they can do a lot more.
A good hall inspires not only the players, but also the audience itself.
If you look at various cities, it is hard to find an art center of this magnitude at a city of the size of Williamsport.
The Arts Center holds a little over 2,000 people at maximum capacity. The metro population of Williamsport is a little over 100,000 if you include Williamsport surrounding areas. That's a relationship that is not normal.
You might, in a town quite a bit bigger than Williamsport, maybe 250,000, find a theater about that size.
I've had some people that have come to visit me. They're like, we have a community that's 3 times the size of Williamsport, and we have nothing like this. What a treasure.
The original building on site was a Sterling Hotel, and that burned down. The front portion of it still remained. And so the Comerford Theater chain, which operated theaters all over the Northeast United States, purchased the property and erected the Capitol Theater. The cost was somewhere around $1 million, which at the time was really extravagant. This particular theater reflected the Basque region of Spain. 1936 was an absolutely devastating flood. Water in here was almost to the balcony. They didn't have the financial wherewithal in the middle of the Depression to be able to restore it. They kept some of the elements, but a lot of this stuff was painted completely over, and it did not see the light of day again until the restoration that the college headed up in the early 90s. It was deteriorating, but it was still here. There were places where you could actually see the light outside shining through the walls. It was in such disrepair.
I think I saw one of the last movies in the theater when the bats were flying around inside of it.
As I recall, the pigeons were flying in, the pigeons were roosting all around and stuff. It was in pretty bad shape.
The decor was almost tacky. It was like pastel colors of paint.
It was definitely in a state of pretty significant disrepair. I do remember it being fairly dingy and dirty and not the most well-kept place.
Mary Lib Stockwell was on the board of directors of the Williamsport Lycoming Foundation, which is now First Community Foundation Partnership. She approached Bob Bruder, the president of Penn College at the time, and proposed that the college and the city and the foundation partner to restore and then operate the theater. And so Dr. Bruder agreed to operate it as a subsidiary corporation of Pennsylvania College of Technology. It was between $11 and $12 million all told for the construction and equipping.
At that point in time, the revitalization of downtown was underway, and this was clearly a cornerstone for the town to bring back people to downtown, to bring back shows, to bring back a theater of this magnitude, something unreal for our area.
Actual restoration, you leave as much of it intact as possible. So if the paint's chipped, you infill the paint. We didn't do that. What we did was restore where we could and replicate where we couldn't restore.
When I first walked into the Community Art Center after it was renovated, it was breathtaking. I literally think I gasped because it was so beautiful.
Once it was opened up and it was redone, it was amazing.
I'm always struck by, the detail and the level of just incredible attention to the architecture in a way that just is not done anymore.
The columns and all of that sort of decorative arts elements are meant to help you suspend reality.
The beautiful ornate architecture of that building is just, it's not found anymore.
I've been in wonderful venues in Europe, in South America. I think that the CAC is comparable to many of those really good halls.
One of my favorite comments ever, a small kid came up to me and said, "Does the king live here? Is this where the king lives?" I mean, because it's that kind of grandeur, it's just an absolute palace.
I remember Melissa Manchester came out on stage at the beginning of the show and looked around and said, "Look what you've done for your children."
CAC has a wonderful crew, and that's always, I'm very, very thankful, with the support I get from the staff at the CAC. It feels like it's our home.
I can't begin to overstate how important the volunteers are to the Community Arts Center. We are incredibly lucky to have a loyal group of people that come back show after show and selflessly dedicate their time to helping us put on performances here. You can't quantify that.
Our backstage crew and our front of the house crew go to great lengths to make this a good experience for the artists, and we've developed somewhat of a reputation that Williamsport's a good place to play.
How lucky we are to have the type of talent that passes through our town to perform for us, the opportunity for our community to engage in a wide range of genres.
We use a few different criteria to select the shows that we bring in. First and foremost, we want to make sure that we're serving our core audience and that we're bringing in artists and performers that people in North Central Pennsylvania want to see. We also have a cultural responsibility to expose the community to things that they might not be familiar with, so we do that as well. It's not always possible to fill a 2,000-seat theater in a town this size. We do have the Capitol Lounge, which is effectively it's its own venue. It holds between 60 and 100 people, depending on the layout. We have a very successful Comedy Zone series that we do in there. It's about once a month, where we bring in nationally touring comedians. We also have a regular series called Tunes on Tap, where we pair a local band and a local brewery. And those are sort of happy hour style events where they're free and open to the public on Friday evenings. It's very important to us to make sure that we are serving the whole community top to bottom.
I think the Community Arts Center opens its doors to everyone, and everyone should feel welcome there.
It's not uncommon for me when I'm speaking with local community leaders to hear that they view the Community Arts Center as a keystone of the downtown Williamsport economy.
Those types of events bring people downtown, and they help everyone. They help the city, our merchants, our restaurateurs, they help our hotels.
We run it as a community service, as an opportunity for us to elevate our community.
Being the largest employer in this community, it's one of the ways we recruit. People want to know that they have a place that they can go to for these types of shows. And I tell people all the time, come to Williamsport. It's a lovely downtown area. You can get a fabulous dinner and then go take on a Broadway level, city level show right here in downtown Williamsport. I think it's essential for us to continue to thrive and grow.
This is not a place that's making a lot of money, nor do most performing arts centers make a lot of money. And so the support of the public in attending shows and philanthropically for those who are capable, absolutely essential to preserving this as an asset in our community for the future.
One of the most common misperceptions about the CAC is that ticket sales pay the bills, and unfortunately, they don't. They will pay performance fees for the artist, and maybe we turn a little bit of profit, but it really is a drop in the well with regard to the variety of other elements that are required for this place to operate. And those are only made possible through donations and through the really strong support of the local community and obviously Penn College and Lycoming College.
I think people can help in multiple ways. One is by coming to the shows and enjoying the entertainment that is brought into our backyard. Two is advocating for the Arts Center, making sure other people are aware of the exceptional talent and just the beautiful center that we have. And three, for those that are able to help financially support the Arts Center.
This is something that we need to treasure and we need to hold forth for future generations. I want to make sure that when my kids have kids, they can come to the Community Arts Center for a great performance.
It is one of the things that brings us together, like really brings us together in a large way. With 1,000 people around you, watching something you're all enjoying.
It's really indescribable. That energy level, you can't ever find that in any other way. It's not the same as watching it on a screen.
Just experience it once, and I'm sure once they do it just one time, they will really want to find a way to enjoy it even more often.
Come, enjoy it, use it, and cherish it, and take care of it.
Venues like the Community Arts Center make a community more vibrant.
Because there's nothing else like it in our area. It's your Community Arts Center. You should come and you should enjoy it.
And you'll really love the place.